of that, he will also not get access to his Senna. We haven't had any of the AD mids taken off the table just yet, though, so we're assuming that a Tristana and a Corki are likely to come through, maybe with something like the Yone as well being available.
Kennen taken off the board away from Shanji. It's not been that popular in the LPL, but Shanji has played it a couple of times. But it has meant that Ashe now open and available. A lot of teams really like it on the Ashe, happy to prioritize. I will say, most teams these days prioritizing things like the Skarner, things like the Leona, but it is going to be that Ashe for Ultra Prime.
Yeah, and it's going to be a takeaway of that Ashe from Photic. We said, hey, he's really good at, you know, the Ziggs and the Jhin, and the Ashe was also in there as well. So that's a takeaway. Because both AD mid laners, the Corki and the Tristana, are the primary ones, you're going to likely get one of them anyway. I'm expecting one of them plus the Karthus for Hacker in the second round or another AP jungler. NIP, they're the ones which I'm wondering about. They do look into Ezreal. We said, hey, maybe that is towards Photic's wheelhouse. Why has he not played more of it?
It's going to slam that one in. And naturally, the Teemo, you fully expect
so
this to be
right
the
now.
R2 coming out from NIP. I mean, they hovered the Leona before. I would not be surprised to see Leona locked in. It's incredibly strong. But things like the Tristana, the Corki also available. The top laners like Skarner, Cassante, etc. It is going to be that Tristana for rookie.
Okay, so expecting AP jungler coming in from Hacker alongside an AD mid for Yuekai. That's been their bread and butter. If something doesn't go towards that, I swear, don't you dare hover that. You know, there was a post on Reddit. Oh god, I saw the animation of the lock-in before the change over to the champion. I had a heart attack. I thought they were doing the Rammus again. Oh, okay. So Zyra, AP AD mid. My heart palpitations can stop now.
Yeah, Doggo is going to be happy with that Ashe already locked in. Doesn't have to go for any more Rammus ADC shenanigans. For anyone that missed that was last split. Find the VODs. It was hilarious.
Yeah.
Leona going to be the final lock-in here for NIP as we move towards the bans. Importantly, NIP have not locked an AP jungler just yet, so an opportunity to pinch for Ultra Prime.
Yeah, and the thing about NIP right now is that they don't have any magic damage. I think that NIP need to ban away some of the hyper tanks to make sure that QingTian doesn't get himself something which can just full stack armor and just full tank the game. If Aki does go towards an AP jungler, which it feels like the composition would call for if you took the nameplates off, that would even out the damage kind of portfolio. But I'm quite worried now that Aki has to go towards an AP jungler, which has not been his speciality.
See if maybe Shanji can bridge the gap or something. I don't know. Only time will tell. I feel like they're going to go AP jungle, right? It just makes sense with the way that this draft has gone. I think it'd be Sejuani. Technically an AP jungle, right? Technically.
Maybe Maokai? Maybe Maokai? That's kind of one of the things that we have seen a bit out of LPL is that you go for Liandry's into Warmogs with the Scorch Claw and the Maokai, and you can be kind of half a damage threat from the jungle. It's not nearly the same as Zyra, Karthus, Brand. And you can see Ultra Prime, they look at that they're looking at NIP and saying, well, we're still going to take away the AP jungle options because the two AP top laners in the Rumble and the Kennen, they're gone. There's no Ziggs for the bot lane as well. And, well, I mean, they've already locked in their AD carry, so that was unlikely anyway. So, yeah, I mean, can just ban out the Lilia now, maybe? That could be a good takeaway because maybe that's a little bit easier. No, they do just say, okay, well, Aki, Sejuani player, may as well just get rid of that.
I mean, to be fair, Aki's not played the Lilia just yet, so maybe Ultra Prime also looking at NIP like, yeah, we're calling your bluff. I don't think you're going to play the AP junglers, Aki. So they leave the Lilia up. We'll see if that's going to come through. There's got to be something going on behind the scenes with this Teemo hover. There's got to be some kind of backstory to that one that I'm just missing out on. Talia, though, going to be slammed. This is the AP jungler after all. It's Talia for Aki.
Okay, so that's something which can play a little bit more combo reliant. You can use your ultimate to change the terrain of the battlefield too. So this is a different style of AP jungler. We've seen it a couple of times across the world. Some teams do play it. I think it was Milky Way that played it the other day as well. Anyways, that one's going to be locked in. It's still not one of those AD bruises, so I'm a little bit worried for Aki on that one. And now because you are majority AD, the Skarner is going to be very, very tanky. If you lock in one more tanky support as well, that could really shore up your team fight. Of course, the Braum and the Nautilus banned on the other side by NIP. I think that makes a lot of sense. Removes the second tank option. I think Ultra Prime very happy with the way that they've got themselves through to a front-to-back, long-range team fight right now.
Yeah, Rel makes sense as well. Just be that engage tool, be the front line alongside the Skarner, setting up for those three carries. So Niket going to slam that one in. It's something he's very comfortable on as well. And finally, we're going to see what Shanji's going to go for. Mordekaiser up and available. He's played it a couple of times and won with it. Question is, does the team reckon that's going to be the pick? No, Twisted Fate comes out. It feels a little vintage, doesn't it? It feels like the Twisted Fate sort of fell out of the meta a little bit in the LPL, but it's back for Shanji.
Oh, we're really talking about Twisted Fate as a vintage, as a top laner. That just feels wrong. I know, I get it.
Right, there's so many games in the LPL that it doesn't get played for like 4 days and it feels like it's fallen out of the meta. You know, it's really not that long since we saw Twisted Fate top, but it feels like a while.
Yeah, and you know, being able to go towards the gold card to allow gold card into Talir with the Leona as well, really, really powerful. Secondary advantage here as well. One of the ways that Zyra can die is by getting hard dove onto. Twisted Fate can do that. You typically build a Banshee's Veil to deal with that. Twisted Fate picks his ultimate, and you don't get to even have that. The Twisted Fate ultimate removes that Banshee, so maybe watch for that interaction later into the game as well. Shanji has a winning lane, has a great way to combo with the rest of his team. It's not a bad combo composition from NIP. Strong front-to-back team fight, though, from Ultra Prime.
It certainly is. If they can get to those team fights, if they can find NIP in a position where a 5v5 is a viable option, that'll be the question. Can they force NIP into those positions? And honestly, a lot of the questions in these kinds of matchups are going to be, how do these lanes go? Things like the Twisted Fate can really take over the game. Things like Leona Ezreal, there's a lot of skill expression in that lane, so plenty of space for outplay. But also, we get to see Photic on this Ezreal. It's a pick we talked about, could be a good pick for him. We've yet to see it this split. Feels like the perfect moment to bring it out.
So, everything comes down to the final day, the last day of Fearless, the last day of Group D to determine who makes it through into the upper group and who stays below. Some
half-hearted Giles to finish that one out there. As, yeah, we'll see how this one goes down. Photic, a player that has played the Ezreal over his career. He's not new to the champion, just not played it this split. He's 15 and 21, so certainly not one of his best picks ever, but we'll see how it's going to go down today. Looking at these compositions, though, I really like the Ashe for Ultra Prime because I feel like it sets up that very clear go button that the Skarner and the Rel can follow up on and set up for the big pick or the big team fight that gets their game plan going. I feel like Ultra Prime are one of these teams that when they've got a clear plan, things look a lot smoother.
Yeah, but can they stick to that plan? Will NIP throw something into the works? So, invading into the Zyra, stopping the seed spawn does help Hacker. Gonna spawn up on them, but you see the plants already immediately die. That's already stopping the clear speed. Great Frostbound from Yuekai, though, to make sure that the trade is even in terms of HP.
Yeah, 3-man phosphorus bomb there coming out from Yuekai. It's not often that you see that, to be honest. Like, how often do you see people hitting multiple with the Phos bomb? But nicely done there, as Hacker will be able to finish those chickens off. The invade slowing down the clear slightly, but not going to be too detrimental for Hacker.
Interested to see now what's going to happen with the mid lane matchup, because we've got a chunk on either side. Yuekai did take some damage on the retreat, even though he did, again, get that level 1 Phos. One, of course, didn't stop the Gatling gun either, which is very, very powerful at level 1 trades. Level 2 also hit down bot side, and Zhuo sadly missing out on that one. So, pushing mid lane, pushing bot lane, pushing top lane. Hacker at least gets himself onto his clear, but Ultra Prime losing all 3 lanes currently.
Oh, Yuekai taking some damage from Rookie, but he's trading back. It's going to be a solo kill for Rookie. We are starting strong for NIP.
Oh, the Phos bomb flashed out of him. We were questioning what would happen with the level 1 HP trade. Well, what it means is that Rookie gets onto the board early. And Ultra Prime, if we were asking, can they get to the team fights? The question is currently, the answer to that, no.
No, yeah, Rookie just taking over the lane already. 400 gold in his pocket off the back of that one. He'll be able to recall, TP back into the lane, probably with at least a longsword, but might just go for the early cull as well. He just clicked at him. He just clicked at him. And then flashes the Q. Beautifully done.
Yeah, I mean, the Phos bomb almost really well placed by Yuekai there, but just didn't quite get the full kind of like prediction on that. Almost got into the flash prediction. Roll the same. Rookie walking away with that early kill. Really, really important for them. Yep. Hacker gets his full clear through. Not really sure what he can do here, though.
Really nice flash placement from Rookie there, just a pixel away from tower range. Here we go, Engage comes out on the bot side from Niket. They're looking for Zhuo to start this one off. The CC chain is good, the damage there. Zhuo knows he's going nowhere, accepts his fate, and Hacker grabs a kill.
So Aki's on top side, even with the pushing lanes, NIP don't manage to track where Hacker is, and he gets towards bot side really, really quickly and gets himself onto the board. That's really important. When you're against losing lanes as a jungler, it can be really hard to impact the game. So Hacker once again showing that even on the AP junglers, which not always is easy to impact the game early with, he is very at home in this meta on this kind of champion. Much needed impact in the game.
He's certainly been comfortable in this meta. Yuekai winning the trade this time around as Rookie sent packing after he jumped in towards Yuekai.
Yeah.
It does feel very
So
I like the observers dead move away from the mid lane because it feels like there will be a kill any second. Zhuo trying to move in, has flash available. Didn't use it in that previous play, but Yuekai full respect.
Yeah, when you're jumping in as the Tristana, if you land the slow from your jump, it also increases the bomb damage. And what Yuekai's been doing, well, at least what he did there, was a really good job of making sure he could avoid the jump, avoid the extra damage, and he knew he could win the trade beyond that point. We've seen a couple of times Corki's massively misjudged the Tristana, get blasted with the full bomb because they stick around for the extra autos. But in this case, at least, Rookie, not going to get the free trade. Still got major control over the lane, though, pushing things in, making sure that Yuekai can't go and help his jungler and get vision down across the river.
So, an exciting start already today. It feels like both teams are here to play. And remember, NIP, they're already locked. They're already going into the next stage, so they're pretty much playing spoiler and just trying to look like a solid team, trying to show us what they are made of before they move into that next stage. For Ultra Prime, this is everything. They need to show that these first few weeks have been building up to something. Aki wants to try and set up a dive, forces the flash out from Doggo, but the rocks won't connect.
Yeah, they knew he was there with the Hawk shot, so it means that he's not comboed out completely, but losing the flash, when you know the enemy jungler is there, that's not what you would have wanted from the bot lane from Ultra Prime. Hacker does get towards his camps on the bot side. He's opening up a bit of a farm advantage towards Aki for now, but with his camps on top side, that's going to be, you know, decorative for the moment. No real advantage. Getting ourselves first dragon and grubs on the same timer. No one's taken that dragon before the grubs have spawned. We see Hacker moving straight from bot lane up towards top side to make sure there is a potential contest. But with Zhuo here earlier, I don't think Ultra Prime can really do much.
No, I don't think this is going to be something Ultra Prime are really looking towards, which does kind of hurt as a Zyra jungle. As Zyra jungle, you really like going for the grubs. You really like going for those topside neutrals. You do them so quickly, but will be taken by Aki, by Rookie, and by Zhuo, who did roam up as well. So nicely done by NIP. Drake up on the map, and you can see Hacker is immediately moved over to that bottom side.
He did do a little bit of Safari League of Legends where he went and did a bit of sightseeing towards topside, but couldn't do anything about it. This time the jump does land from Rookie, so the extra damage will come through. Ouch, even with the level 6, not able to get the complete winning trade there for Rookie, but nasty stuff all the same. Hacker going to quickly take this one down as he was sawn off, or rather he was seen off by NIP towards the top side. Ultra Prime get themselves on the objective board at least. Yeah.
Yes.
A little bit.
At least Ultra Prime gets something out of that one. NIP, gold card on the top side. They're going full lock stock, 2 smoking barrels on this one as QingTian tries to dash away the flash.
Ooh.
With the auto reset. Shanji makes it happen.
Shanji remembers the first rule, double tap. He puts in that double click on the W to make sure the auto attack reset comes out from the card, gets the last fadeaway auto attack as QingTian walks off and sadly can't complete that initial escape. So what comes through here? You have the gold card into the combo, really, really nasty stuff from the Talia. When you have point and click in towards the top side, very, very powerful of course, and right here we see one of the big things for why Twisted Fate in the AD version has been so powerful. That auto attack reset comes through and kills him.
Lovely stuff from NIP. And again, this kind of goes back to what you were saying about how this team has functioned is when you go back to stuff that's worked before, this team looks good. Well, the Twisted Fate top into Skada, that's something that's worked before. And Talia with something point and click to set it up, that's worked before. Arrow to the mid lane is going to sail right between the posts.
So, Doggo's first arrow of the game sadly can't get that much done. We'll see if the first Twisted Fate ultimate of the game on the other side can make a larger impact than that one. Those are two huge playmaking tools we'll have to track beyond at this point. Rookie, if he died there, would have opened up an option for Niket to go in and get vision across the river, for potentially Ultra Prime to set up for a little bit more safe playmaking. They've barely been able to push up in any lane so far, and IP playing through their 3 pushing lanes very effectively so far.
Okay, got to be cautious not to face check that tri-brush there. Everybody laying in wait, but will get his opportunity to return to his team. Hacker alongside him does sweep out any vision, but I think both teams very aware that the junglers were on the bottom side. You see Aki moving back up to his top quadrant, and it will just be the reset for Hacker, so nothing too crazy going to be happening. Bit of a CS lead opening up in that bottom lane. Now there is a big old wave about to crash in, but still, it's not 20 CS in that wave.
Which is strange to me, because it was Zhuo, the one who was roaming away from the lane. Might have just been some missed farm. I didn't see whether the Doggo was zoned out from a wave while supports were off doing their support thing. And we have to keep track of that too, because of course when you've got the longer range composition from Ultra Prime on the whole, when you've got the Corki and the Zyra, the Ashe still needs to be a lot of the tank killing potential. Hacker going to walk up towards Aki, does get the roots. Okay,
nice root. It all comes out as well, and Aki's in trouble, stunned and finished off. I mean, pincers and vines everywhere. Not a lot you're doing to get out of that one. That was his flash as well, though.
It was. It's not a great flash. You're not getting out of there. If he flashes and then gets the ult timing off, yes, maybe it comes through, but with the faded Ashe, it's always going to be a likely second arrow. Is it accurate? No, not quite.
2 out of 2 so far. We'll keep a count on the Doggo arrows across the course of this one. So far, not been able to hit Rookie. Rookie well aware of the situation, stepping back, avoiding that potential threat. And now, Photic just get an opportunity to get on this tower. I mean, in the 1v1, realistically, Photic just going to have a minor range advantage, can play off of those Qs every time Ashe steps up, can get the Q, E away worst case, and dodge the volley.
Yeah, it's opened up a really nice CS lead for Photic, as we mentioned before. That's going to be important to see whether Ezreal can then get towards a quick 1-2 item spike before Ashe gets really relevant at all. And because that's a pushing lane, the Tristana's a pushing lane, and the TF is a pushing lane, if we get multiple grubs from the side of NIP, they're on 4 right now, that could be so huge for them. But Ultra Prime do roam up towards this and at least contest for anything beyond the 4th.
I like this call from Ultra Prime. You can't afford to lose 6 grubs, not against a Twisted Fate. That is just not, and a Tristana for that matter, not something you can afford to do. Doggo going to have to just sack these CS and move up, but he's not going to. Zhuo toying with the idea. The rest of the team was not on the same page there, and Zhuo's forced to flash away.
Yeah, I love what Niket was angling to do that. Because the enemy jungler doesn't have flash, you can really start to pressure around those grubs, because if they do step up for a smite, there's no way they're getting out of that one. Zhuo's the one that goes to try and phase check first to give Aki a little bit of space to maneuver, but Niket's there ready and waiting for him. Ult's now coming in to teleport back towards lane. So the first Ashe ult of the game didn't achieve much. First Twisted Fate ult of the game, also not really achieving that much. But hey, he's winning lane so hard, you can kind of forgive him. That's just the Twisted Fate way of things nowadays.
Yeah, I mean, first Twisted Fate ult when you're playing ADTF top, like, a lot of the time it is just to get back to lane no matter what. Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully these big impactful ults will start hitting, especially from Doggo, but second Drake has spawned onto the map and Ultra Prime got the first. They would love to double up on that objective, but prio bot, prio mid, prio top, it does feel very difficult for Ultra Prime to leave their own jungle.
It does. I think that's why it's important to note now that Hacker is really powerful. If NIP overstep into plants, maybe that's what Ultra Prime can play around. We already saw Hacker effectively one-shot Aki. You don't think of Zyra as that bursty of your champion. Can be if you're quite squishy all the same. With Dragon up on the table, that might be something that Ultra Prime would look to draw NIP to. If NIP look towards that Dragon, it means they're not in lanes. And that means that if they're not in lanes, Ultra Prime can maybe get themselves an approach to that on their own way. So, everyone moving out of those lanes now. This might be what Ultra Prime are looking for.
Photic doesn't want to give this one up without a fight, but he's going to have to move over to the mid lane and catch that wave. So Ultra Prime should be able to just burst this Drake down. You see Aki up on the top side. So this will be that second Drake picked up for Ultra Prime. Nicely done for them. QingTian could be under threat. As Aki returns to this top side, we saw what point and click plus Talia does earlier on against QingTian. QingTian knows something's up. He knows something's going on here. Twisted Fate has vanished on the top side. He still gets caught by it despite knowing, but this time I think he gets out.
Just about. It's still regular cooldowns used by NIP though, and nothing really kind of blown by them. Importantly, QingTian will have to teleport back towards topside, and now a huge advantage has come about for that Twisted Fate against that Skarner. We know it can happen that way, but the fact that QingTian is also a player that anti-snowballs pretty heavily is something which Ultra Prime will need to start taking into consideration beyond this point. Very far down. Did they spot anyone moving in towards that brush? I don't think they did. They know that one person's there, but Rookie is out of vision.
Rookie has a huge angle here. Niket alongside Doggo does make it more difficult, but if Niket moves out of the lane, Rookie's already got that Kraken Slayer. That's a massive one-on-one advantage. Yeah, it's just going to be recalling, but Rookie showed on the wave. QingTian, once again, they try and make this play. They don't have the gold card, but Shanji flashes to finish the job, and the Impale just doesn't get off in time.
QingTian, this has been one of the Achilles heels of Ultra Prime. QingTian, new top laner into this roster, really good when he's ahead of the game, but if he ever falls behind, this guy just free falls. We've seen it numerous times now, even against NIP in the first time of seeing it. QingTian now down so much gold this early into the game might be a lost condition for Ultra Prime. This is really not how they would have wanted this matchup to go. The Skarner can be useful later even when behind gold, but this is pushing it.
Another arrow from Doggo. And it's another swing and a miss. Rookie gonna have to try and get away. Nice combo from Hacker. Oh, and the second proc from the ult. The Strangle Thorns doing exactly that to Rookie as a kill for Ultra Prime the bottom side.
Hacker really wants that upper group, man. He really wants to win this series. His Zyra, his AP junglers have been the story of Ultra Prime in so many ways. And it gives something back on the other side of the map. It means it is competitive. It's not just going to be a story of Shanji snowballing through topside. At least it won't be quite as easy as that. It's going to lead to a bot lane tower falling in favor of Ultra Prime. Of course, the top lane already fell in favor of Shanji for that first turret of the game, so it won't be the first turret bonus. But it is something out of seemingly nothing because of Hacker's good burst play once again.
Nice bit of damage coming out on to Doggo from Photic. So far, so good on the Ezreal. We were... Oh my goodness, so far very good on the Ezreal. Nearly gets the solo kill there. QingTian moving in, but we know that Impale going to be difficult to land onto an Ezreal, especially with Flash available. So Photic, no fear in his eyes. Really stepping up today. A player that has been a bit hit or miss for NIP. Looking good on the Ezreal.
We were talking about it in the draft as well. Hey, there is a checklist for what NIP needs to do well. Largely it is Aki on Bruiser junglers and then the non-traditional AD carries for Photic, not the ones you have to sit around and auto-attack. The casters tend to be better for that. And the Ezreal hadn't been part of that pool yet. He picks it up and it's working well.
Do you know what's just dawned on me?
Yeah.
There's a reason why Aki's looking better on Talia as an AP jungler compared to
Why
the
is
other
that?
AP jungler. Because his mid laner is literally one of the best Talias in the world. He's literally got a coach in the mid lane that can tell him exactly how this champion works and how to get good.
I thought it was like one of the speedrunning strats for you to one player, two controllers, and he's just controlling both of them at once, you know, just like...
Do you know, I wouldn't put it
flying
past
through all the
Rookie.
combos.
Of
all the players
it's like
in the
that
LPL?
old meme of Faker alt-tabbing during a play and like playing Minecraft at the same time, and then he's playing Fortnite. And, oh dear, I feel like Rookie definitely of a similar caliber. But yeah, I do think, I would say, my best guess is Aki is playing the champion today. But, you know, you never can be too sure.
Well, you can't comprehensively prove that, you know.
No, I can't. I have no access to proving that, but, you know, maybe we'll find out in the post-game interview. These are the hard-hitting questions that I want Wendy to be asking our players. Like, are you actually at the controller?
Such things we may never know. NIP, they're going to use that Herald to break down that mid lane. Outer turret, this game has just gotten onto hard mode for Ultra Prime because before they were dealing with pushing lanes and they weren't quite breaking open the early game chokehold from NIP. Now they have to play against those same pushing lanes with grubs, with no outer turrets, and they're going to be hemmed in to their own jungle and they're in a ring of turrets. This is very, very hard now for Ultra Prime to approach anywhere on the map. Dragon spawning might be their chance to do something because NIP are likely going towards that one. But Ultra Prime, they don't have any kind of setup for this, and their last series versus IG was terrible at objective setup. They cannot afford to fall to that today.
No, they can't. And if you think back to that initial conversation we had about the win conditions. It was all about the 5v5. It was all about setting up for that team fight. It's really difficult to set up for a proper team fight when you don't have any vision, when you don't have any control, and when you're playing up against a composition that is pure damage. Like, it's so difficult to move into NIP-controlled areas because of this Talia, because of the Twisted Fate, because of the insane amount of damage to follow up on that CC. So, will be difficult. As a flash comes out to dodge away from QingTian, and then the rest of the gang just dives on board. Arrow finally hits from Doggo, but it's the wrong target. This will be a tier 2.
It will be, and you know, yes, it's traded for a tier 1 in topside, but the 1v4 under the tower, of course, is going to go the way of NIP. QingTian really has been public enemy #1, target #1 for so many teams that have played against Ultra Prime, partly because he does die when he's left isolated so much, and now he's behind 3,000 gold individually to Shanji. This matchup is completely unsalvageable. He's at 1 item, and he will be at that for a very long time. He's not going to get towards that 2-item spike with the Fimbulwinter on any good kind of timing.
This feels pretty tough for Ultra Prime, the only team in the series with stakes at play. At least got a flash out from Photic. That's Ezreal. I mean, it's not even that big of a flash. I mean, even though the arrow hits, Rookie even buffered it. Like, saw that coming, tanked and buffered it. Wasn't tagging the tower anyway. I mean, NIP, they're looking kind of clean today. It has to be said when, you know, we've been talking a lot about the stakes for Ultra Prime today and for the rest of the group. NIP also, they want to be looking strong moving into the next stage of the tournament. This is them looking strong, and it does feel like a lot of the weaknesses we've seen from NIP this split do seem to be somewhat answered today.
Yeah, it seems to have been really, really clean. They've understood their win conditions. They've understood the weak points of the enemy team as well, which is important. You need to know the enemy as well as yourself. And I think that on the other side, you now look at Ultra Prime and say, well, there are significant common issues now showing up with how they play around a top lane that's falling behind. How do they recover from this now? You are behind a significant amount of gold. Baron is on the table. You need to get some limited vision around here. If NIP do get themselves a Baron, that's effectively game over. I don't think that Ultra Prime will be able to survive through a Baron buff coming through on the other side. And they also failed to get themselves that soul point because NIP took that and then went for the bot play when they allowed Yuekai to go towards topside instead. So what's the plan here from Ultra Prime? You can't just fall into this black hole of a top lane matchup where QingTian can't survive on the weak side of the map.
Certainly can't. I mean, it's going to be a challenge. But one thing I will say, with Ashe on board, there's always ways to make plays. And there's plenty of follow-up damage with the Zyra and a Corki. If you can find a miracle arrow, if you can find someone out of position. And that's the question. Will NIP... You're kind of relying on a bit of a slip-up from NIP. QingTian. Okay, Shanji's not going to chase for that one. I wasn't sure if he was going to be in danger again there. He'll get away with it this time. QSS picked up by Shanji, by the way. So that's one player who cannot be caught out of position. Photic has cleanse, so another player that can't be caught out of position. Rookie is Tristana, so he can just buffer it. Pretty much, you need to find Aki.
Somehow, some way. So, Ultra Prime. This is now a very, very difficult game. NIP, this is a very easy game on the other side of it. And they have played very formulaic. It has been to the book. They have understood their win conditions. They're playing through the right kind of players, the right kind of advantages. Ultra Prime, they're the ones with the pressure on them. They haven't always done well under pressure before, particularly in the second half of this group. They've really fallen off in some important moments. They do have this series, which keeps their fate in their own hands, but they need to mount a comeback already.
NIP with control of the area, but a bit of vision there for Ultra Prime, so it's not too... like, they're not under threat of the Baron going down right this second. And here we go. Aki, what's the target? They get a flash out from him at least. Ultra Prime look like they want to keep chasing for more. Rookie is behind enemy lines. He's found Yuekai and forced out the Valkyrie. 5 men strong for Ultra Prime. This is what they wanted. But there's 5 players in 5 different directions from NIP. Now the pincer maneuver. A solar flare hits the entire team from Zhuo. Ultra Prime desperately trying to chase onto this Leona. Zhuo is on the wrong side, but he jumps into the fray. Shanji trying to follow up. Niket looking for more as the flick back from Aki. How is this fight still going on the way that it is? Shanji locks a gold card. True Shot Barrage comes through. All of that leads to just one pick.
Rookie teleports mid lane to make sure they can get that mid lane in a turret as well, but NIP, it is so much easier for them to set up the fights than it is Ultra Prime. It is a one for none, but losing the turret means that even in the overall gold trade, NIP end up succeeding.
Rookie even gets to stay and clear the wave as well. No threat on him whatsoever. 10 seconds until that Drake comes up as well. You see pings towards that, but a lot of pings towards Baron as well. I think both teams not willing to go bot side just in case the big purple worm goes down elsewhere. Aka nearly face checks. Got to be cautious on that one.
Absolutely does. Niket, he can help with those wards in one side, use the Celestial Opposition to give a bit of damage reduction for that first face check as well, and the plants are helping too, but you still have to face check. A lot of damage available for NIP. 2 items on Photic. Beyond that, he has himself that Muramana. Looks like Ultra Prime, they want to go towards the Baron instead of the Dragon, which is being soloed by Shanji.
Shanji does not have Destiny available, so Ultra Prime, perhaps an angle to try and start this Baron off, but they're not going to pull the trigger here. Spotted out by the blue trinket as well. And it does feel like slowly but surely NIP are just bleeding this game out. There's the arrow. It lands onto Zhuo. Solar Flare to answer, but Zhuo will go down. Pick for Ultra Prime as NIP trying to answer onto QingTian. They're escorting the wave down mid. They might be able to try and threaten something, but they'll corral themselves in if they do. Ultra Prime really want to find this one. The flash forwards from Niket, but he's just not found the targets and goes down instead.
Gets stunned mid-flight, so can't finish off the complete combo. Sadly for Niket, just can't get on top of Shanji, who had the QSS anyway. Feels like Ultra Prime, they're snatching and grabbing at players again. They do find themselves some kills around the place, but they're already behind so much gold, and the multiple carries of NIP from multiple lanes can just outspace them in the important moments. And Ultra Prime, they lose the Dragon, they do get a kill, but it's traded back, and they don't get the Baron for their troubles either.
I love the way that NIP are just fanning out in these fights like, yeah, you're never getting a front to back. We refuse to give you normal team fight positions. We're just going to, like that play around the Baron pit where Ultra Prime are grouped as a 5-man unit, and there's literally 5 points of a star around them from NIP. Full entrapment coming out as they are not willing to group up. They are not willing to give that front to back fight.
NIP, how hard is it now? For you called it out before in regards to the Ash Hour and some of the other CC. The amount of QSSs available on NIP and the cleansers. How the heck do you even go about starting picking up one of those plays? Well, that's not bad, but there we go. There's that Merc Scimitar built up for Rookie. Ash Arrow down. How the hell do Ultra Prime find themselves the picks which their team really leverages off of?
And again, great to see this from NIP that they've essentially gone, look, this is the only way we lose. if we get caught by these Ash Arrows, we can lose this game. If not, it's kind of unlosable for them. And so, everybody's picking up these QSSs, or aside from Photic, who's got that cleanse. And then obviously Aki and Zhuo. Aki is the target still, definitely. And his flash still on cooldown for just a moment. Perhaps there's a small window, but realistically, you don't expect Aki to be stepping too far away from the rest of the gang.
That's going to be a big problem. Merc treads almost the Warmogs on Zhuo as well. No, Zhuo doesn't have the flash, so he can get pinned into a fight, potentially killed. My big issue now is that even if you do force really hard for a pick onto NIP, onto either Aki or Zhuo, feels like Rookie, Photic, and Shanji are so strong in their own right. It's really hard to engage beyond that point. We saw a similar game from Top Esports the other day where 3 ults were being thrown into a Leona to kill them. Okay. How do you deal with everyone busted behind the Leona at that point? Good luck. It feels like a very similar situation. Ultra Prime, they're very far behind just in terms of raw combat stats.
I feel like this is one of the big things that Leona brings to the table as well. Is like, Zhuo is 0-3-1 this game, but he still brings so much value to a fight just on base stats alone. He's not even finished that first item just yet, but still going to be an absolute menace. That the 4-man solar flare came out from him earlier on today as well. It does feel like things have slowed down dramatically here, but a lot of that is because NIP are quite happy to just stack up these Drakes, play it slow. They're not necessarily the team that have been trying to just 50-50 Barons all the time. And again, they don't really want that enclosed team fight either, so Baron not necessarily an objective that is easy to brute force and find a fight off of.
So, Dragon spawning in a minute, Baron starting now. What are we looking for? We're looking for godlike arrows from Doggo onto what could be Zhuo. Mainly Aki is the target we're looking for. There is a chance of an arrow into follow-up CC, so even something like a cleanse can't work its way through, but even that only really works onto Shanji, who doesn't have, you know, the Arcane Shift or the Rocket Jump as well from Rookie. It's really hard for Ultra Prime to thread the needle in these fights. Whereas for NIP, what they need to be doing is making sure that if anyone is in a position to get picked, there is follow-up behind them, so even if that target is hit, someone else can be damaging in return. And I think if they manage to do that, it's really hard for Ultra Prime to out-damage, even if they do find that first kill.
It's going to be tough. See if they can make it happen. I can't. Do you know what? I'm here for a tough game for Ultra Prime, because winning a tough game against NIP, that would be a hell of a way to make it into the top group. QingTian trying to make a play onto Rookie. Don't think he's got the damage to finish the job. Arrow comes sailing through, but in the meantime, NIP just start the Baron off. I don't think they can really commit to this one with Hacker and Doggo in the area. And Niket able to face check. Yeah, they're going to peel away.
And the big problem now is if Ultra Prime ever bring QingTian away from wave clearing that bot side, then Baron goes down, or they blew the teleport and then they manage to reset and then eventually do the same. Dragon is now up. Ultra Prime, they won't be able to stop that one, I don't think. Aki can solo that one out, so that's going to be a free Dragon. Ultra Prime, they are alive, they are buying time, but it's not getting better for them as it stands. They have got themselves 3 items onto Yuekai. They're about to get the Infinity Edge onto Doggo as well. Big item spikes, but as we've said before, the combat stats are still really in favor of NIP. Giving over dragons does not help with that at all.
It certainly doesn't. Bit of a slow one here from NIP, but slow and steady wins the race. At the end of the day, they've got all of the advantages in the world. Just need to not throw. Hack is caught by Aki. Actually, Shanji committed his ultimate as well. Wasn't sure if Ultra Prime would try and answer back, perhaps. Aki wants to grab that red buff and will do so. The answer from Ultra Prime, just not really enough.
So, Hacker almost went down for his first death of the game. You know what? Real credit to Hacker. It's been a really hard game to play for Ultra Prime with the pushing lanes and how NIP have played them. Hacker still got himself an early kill in bot side, still got himself a kill in, onto Aki in the river as well. He's done pretty damn well, considering that you are playing with 3 losing lanes against a team with so much mobility and ability to kind of like close onto you as well. He hasn't even died this game. I think Hacker, despite the fact that NIP have been clearly the better team in game 1 and played so coordinated around a very strong early pushing draft, like there has to be some props to that.
Yeah, fair effort to him. Fair effort to him. Is Ultra Prime going to try and clear some vision around this Baron, but I don't think there's any real angle here because Rookie pushing in that bottom side has the TP available. You can't afford to leave that for too long. You see QingTian going to go over and answer. So while we wait for the next Drake to come up, because it does feel like that's the way this game is going, I want to bring something up from a previous cast, if that's all right with you. Because on a previous cast, I said that there were no rules when it came to pluralizing words like octopi versus octopus.
Yes. Wait, have you learned about this? Have you researched?
I've been messaged by Faradmon, who has informed me that I'm a total idiot. QingTian trying to make a play onto Rookie. As soon, like, nothing's happened in hours in this game. As soon as I try and say something, immediately a play occurs on towards Rookie. He'll be able to survive, and now Baron's started up.
We'll never know.
Well, we'll never know. We'll never know how that one works out as the gold card comes on through onto Niket. And it is going to be a disengage. NIP return to this Baron. No, they're going to go for a reset. Okay, we continue.
Tell me about plurals.
So, apparently, there is no rule in English about these, but it comes down to the etymology of each word. So, the long story short of this is, if it's of a Latin origin, then it pluralizes with an I. If it's a Greek origin, it pluralizes with an ES. So that is sort of ironic, really, because, you know, I've gone full Greek and I've been a total Philistine on the topic.
What happens if it comes from like a Germanic origin, which I guess comes from... What if it comes from like a Nordic origin or something like that? Most languages in Europe, I believe, came from Proto-Indo-European as well. There are look, this gets more complicated. I'm pretty sure. That's TF ult pulled. Rookie's pushing in towards this inhibitor turret in the bot side. While all this has been happening, Ultra Prime have really struggled to keep themselves competing across the map.
Yuekai is just going to get all in by Rookie. He's looking for a 2v1. Impaled over the wall. QSS comes on through. He flashes forwards. But Yuekai backs away. Rookie is still going in this one. He is a bit of a tank shredder and sidesteps away. Yuekai just about survives the red buff. Not enough. But in the meantime, the Baron has gone down.
Niket just about to get out to safety.
Hacker
Hacker no flash. I think he's dead.
He's going down. That's an easy kill for Photic. And now TP comes in. Ultra Prime fighting for their lives in this one. Zhuo chunked out. Will be chased down by Doggo. Shanji is over the wall trying to 1v1 and he wins it against Doggo. Goes 1-for-1 in the trade there. Is 3 left for Ultra Prime. But Photic makes short work of Niket. Suddenly Ultra Prime running out of players on the map.
Oh, they've tried to outplay against the Dragons, against the gold advantage, but NIP have been ruthless. Rookie with a 1v2 in the bot side can't quite get himself the kills which he wants, but he buys time for the Baron. Baron goes down, and it feels like Ultra Prime, they have delayed, but death has come a call in for them. NIP, this should really be the final push with the Dragon coming up as well. I feel like Ultra Prime, their time has elapsed.
I feel like Rookie is just one of those players that the more players are near him, the stronger he gets. It's something else watching that guy play in a 2v1. Nice little pick onto Hacker, and then, you know, the follow-up onto Zhuo, trying to get it. Shanji literally just 1v1 Doggo. I mean, this fight was a little silly.
Yeah, gotta say, that was a pretty sick Captain Jack coming out from Doggo all the same, considering he's 2 levels down on the 4,000 foot gold advantage full
I mean,
item
look at the item difference, yeah. Look at the
yeah,
item
I
difference.
actually think Doggo, I would even phrase it, I think Doggo 1v1 Shanji pretty much. It just ended up being QingTian, which cleared that off. Cleanse taken away from Photic. These arrows, they should have, if these arrows had hit in an early game, maybe we'd have a different game. But Doggo couldn't quite land the first couple of ults of the game to snowball things. And with so many QSSs and the Merc Scimitars upgraded from them too on the board, it's really hard to play around. NIP, now they're pushing in all 3 lanes. A lot of the time you don't see 3-lane pushes from Barons anymore because it's so hard to protect all of your lanes. With those QSSs, it gets a lot easier.
It certainly does. 8-8 in terms of kills, but the gold tells a different story. As NIP fully in control and have been for a little while now. The Mountain Soul, you would think that they can slowly but surely start to break this game open. Remember that inhib tower went down in the bottom side as well, so if Rookie gets just a second, he will finish an inhib. Yuekai's been found by Shanji, who's looking for another 1v1 and gets the solo kill. Might go down for it, but flashes away, and Rookie keeps his top laner safe with the ult.
Shanji can even start wave clearing too, so now it's a 5v4 Baron buff available and they're going in.
Oh boy, Niket goes for the engage, Rookie to target, but he jumps out to safety, and now the health bar slowly whittled down by all of these ranged carries. It feels unwinnable for Ultra Prime in these fights. NIP have been in control for hours at this point, as Aki even goes in for a bonus kill at the end of things. NIP, very clean win here in game number 1 over Ultra Prime. It was a good early game from Ultra Prime, but unfortunately, the longer it went on, the more NIP won.
So now, Ultra Prime, if they lose the next game, they are consigned into Group B, the lower group in the next stage of LPL. They need at least 1 game win to keep their hopes alive. And if they do win the series, they do end up securing their own fate towards their upper group as well. But NIP, they are not going to make it easy. They 2-0'd them the first time around. We said it was likely going to be NIP favored the second time, especially with recent form from Ultra Prime, but that shows you exactly how daunting the task is.
Yeah, it's always going to be a tough task. NIP looking like they've got better and better as the split has gone on. They are primed for that upper group, and they are showing us that even when they've already qualified for that upper group, they're not going to turn into slouches in this final series. We'll see if Ultra Prime can keep their dreams of that upper group alive right after the break.